Many Korean actors start their careers in the entertainment world when they're still very young, and while some go on to become massive stars as adults, others face severe struggles and their lives are completely ruined. Children have been part of the entertainment industry all over the world for decades and have played all kinds of roles, from small appearances to younger versions of the main characters, and sometimes even leading stars. However, while for some child actors this can be the start of a successful career, this practice has a very dark side, and cases of exploitation can be found in numerous countries. Unfortunately, South Korea is one of the worst offenders, with countless young boys and girls being put in front of a camera at a very young age and then growing up under the public eye. This is a long-standing problem, but it got much worse over the past few decades as Korean entertainment companies started more and more often to adopt a training system for actors similar to the one used for K-pop idols. With this system, children and teenagers who are regarded as potential stars are recruited by agencies based on auditions or scouting, and are then molded into perfect-looking celebrities after undergoing strict training in an extremely competitive environment. During this training period, child trainees are taught acting, modeling, and foreign languages, but also how to use the media and how to manage their weight and their physical appearance to always look flawless. Since children who are regarded as cuter have a higher chance of being chosen by entertainment agencies, many parents force their kids to get plastic surgery, and this is obviously a very dangerous practice that could have a wide range of negative effects. One expert from a Korean plastic surgery clinic explained that operating on children could lead to a lot of unforeseen problems as their bodies are still evolving. Despite this, an investigation made in 2022 found that half of the plastic surgery clinics in the wealthy neighborhood of Gangnam in Seoul are willing to operate on elementary school kids, while 90% are okay with performing surgeries on middle schoolers, and only a small fraction of clinics work exclusively on adults. The obsession with showing a perfect appearance from a very young age leads to another disturbing issue: the exploitation of children based on their looks. While this issue is more prominent among idols, young actors are also often forced to wear revealing clothes and perform explicit actions, with entertainment companies encouraging the audience to build disgusting, intimate fantasies about them. In some cases, they're even forced to perform scenes in which they're a bit too close with people much older than they are. There are actually countless examples of very young actors filming these kinds of scenes, and future stars such as Kim Yoo Jung and Sully had these experiences when they were just 10 or 11 years old. One of the most discussed cases happened in 2007 when child actor Baek Sung-do, then 12 years old, had to film a scene like this with then 26-year-old Kim Bin-woo. These are just some cases involving famous stars, but aspiring child actors can face even worse issues. For example, American actor Kenneth Phoebe recalled that while he was working in Korea, he was once asked to dance with a young girl, and while he found this experience to be extremely awkward, the producers didn't care at all, and only thought that this scene would earn them a lot of money. All these cases shocked the public, but nevertheless, kids filming scenes that should be reserved for adults is still an ongoing serious problem. Another disturbing practice is how children are recruited in the first place. This often happens with officials from entertainment agencies looking around for kids who they think look pretty enough. They then approach their mothers and give them their business cards, promising to turn their kids into celebrities. Many fall for this scheme and end up exposing their kids to an awful and exploitative environment. One former child actress recalled this experience, sharing that when she was 11 years old, a woman came up to her and her mother saying that she could be a model. This woman was an agent from an entertainment company and argued that she could turn this kid into a star by putting her on TV and filming shows. The mother of the former child star was initially skeptical but still accepted the business card of the agent, and after thinking about it, she decided to give it a try. For the next 2 years, the young girl spent every weekend filming content with other children like her, with all payments being made under the table to hide the fact that she was working underage. These aren't the only issues that child actors face. The strict training they have to undergo leads many young trainees to experience tremendous stress, as they're forced to face constant testing and an invasive surveillance surveillance of everything they do. Because of this system, many children are often required to skip school or even drop out of their studies. This means that if they don't succeed in the entertainment world, they have basically no formal education or training, and finding another job becomes extremely difficult. So many discarded trainees or former child actors often face severe financial issues in their adulthood. This also means that many children end up completely losing their childhood and miss many experiences that should be normal for kids, as their strict training often means that they don't even have time to play and hang out with people around their age. In fact, an increasing number of children are forced by their parents to join private tutoring schools, and academies dedicated to training kids to become future celebrities have now become normalized in Korean society. These agencies are full-on businesses that recruit children to mold them into potential stars with the goal of making them join large entertainment companies. They often start by building a social media presence for these kids, and then they make them star in online campaigns and advertisements, hoping to get them noticed. This means that many kids have their entire childhood exposed online for anyone to see, while also being forced to constantly film content. This practice basically amounts to child labor, and while this would look awful almost anywhere else, in Korea, it has become normalized and even encouraged, as parents are often the ones who decide to exploit their own children, aiming to make them famous and earn money for themselves. Of course, many kids would rather do anything else, and there are countless examples of child actors struggling while on the set. Phoebe also talked about this issue in his interview and denounced seeing numerous cases of child exploitation while he was working in Korea. For example, he recalled filming a commercial with a 3-year-old boy during a freezing day in March. He explained that this kid, who had never been on a set before, was forced to stay up all day and film again and again. The poor kid couldn't stop crying and kept saying that he wanted to go home and sleep, but the producers didn't let him go, even after the boy's mother begged them to stop. In fact, it looks like many industry insiders don't care at all about the well-being of kids on set, and some even complain when children don't live up to their unreasonable expectations. One very disturbing case happened in 2008 when the director of the movie Once Upon a Time in Seoul, which is set in 1953 at the end of the Korean conflict, complained that child actors couldn't understand the historical setting. He argued that the children who auditioned weren't skinny enough to be believable as survivors of a conflict, and lamented how these kids knew nothing about poverty and malnutrition. He explained that he wanted to see kids who were thin enough to look like skeletons, but since he couldn't find any, he had to ask them to cut down their weight before shooting. The director even claimed that some kids had to starve to become thinner, and even that wasn't enough, and complained how several scenes had to be shot again and again because the child actors didn't look desperate enough. While producers and industry insiders are often to blame for these issues, parents are also often guilty of pushing their kids too much. An investigation published in 2024 found various instances of mothers talking on online blogs about how they're pushing their kids into the entertainment world. One of the most awful discussions saw some mothers complaining that it was hard to keep their children awake past 2 a.m. for filming, while others said that they had to feed the kids well and constantly cheer them up in order to prevent them from falling asleep, adding that this was the key to success. After growing up in this exploitative environment, countless child actors who have been exposed to these practices develop serious problems, and there are numerous examples of kids developing all kinds of mental health issues, from depression to eating disorders, while others struggle to deal with the pressure of being under the spotlight and end up being addicted to illegal substances. These problems are very well known by the public, but despite this, it seems like things aren't getting better at all. While in the past few years, the Korean government has tried to introduce new laws to protect the rights of children in the entertainment world, these policies don't go far enough and are often guidelines rather than compulsory. Even when these laws introduce obligatory measures, they're often disregarded behind the scenes, especially in smaller productions. Unfortunately, this is still a major issue in the Korean entertainment world, and it seems like a solution isn't coming anytime soon. What do you think about this issue? What can be done to improve the situation? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to learn more about the disturbing reality behind the world of K-dramas. Growing up in front of the camera can be more dangerous than it seems, and few stories illustrate that better than Kim Sae Ron's life, a child star whose early fame took a serious toll. Kim Sae Ron's rise to stardom began at just 9 years old, but the spotlight that once shined so brightly on her career eventually became her downfall. After nearly a decade of success in the entertainment industry, her world fell apart, and a string of controversies left her reputation in ruins, derailing the promising future she had built. Sae Ron was born on July 31st, 2000, and had a very bright future ahead of her. At just 9 years old, she made an unforgettable entrance into the world of acting with her debut role in the 2009 film A Brand New Life. In it, Sae Ron portrayed Jin-hee, a young girl abandoned by her father at an orphanage after he remarries. Left to navigate the emotional turmoil of loss and rejection, Jin-hee's journey leads her to be adopted by a French couple. This role required remarkable maturity and depth far beyond Sae Ron's young age. Her talent didn't go unnoticed on the world stage. She became the youngest actress ever to be invited to the prestigious Cannes Film Festival, where A Brand New Life was showcased in a special screening. Walking the red carpet at Cannes is a dream for even the most experienced actors, yet here was Sae Ron, not just attending but representing a film in one of the most respected and glamorous cinematic arenas in the world. Her presence at Cannes marked a serious milestone in her career, highlighting the extraordinary promise of a child star who had already caught global attention. As if debuting at the Cannes Film Festival wasn't already an amazing accomplishment for someone so young, Sae Ron quickly followed up with another major breakthrough. Shortly after her Cannes appearance, she landed a groundbreaking role in the action thriller The Man from Nowhere, starring alongside no one other than Won Bin. The film became a box office sensation, and before the cast could even process the success of the film, it became the highest-grossing movie in South Korea that year. The Man from Nowhere was praised for its intense action sequences and deep emotional storyline, but it was Sae Ron's performance that added an extra layer of humanity to the story, showcasing her ability to convey a wide range of emotions despite her young age. To put things into perspective, she was just a fifth grader when she achieved this. While her performance in The Man from Nowhere was watched by audiences nationwide, she revealed in an interview that she wasn't even allowed to watch the entire film due to its age restrictions. Instead, she could only view her own scenes on the monitor during filming. This small detail highlights just how unique and surreal her experience was, starring in a blockbuster film while being too young to even watch it in full. As one of the most successful child actresses at the time, Sae Ron continued to gain recognition, even taking on her first K-drama role in Listen to My Heart, where she portrayed the younger version of Hwang Jung-eum's character. Her performance earned praise from critics, who seemed to love every project she put out. Balancing her flourishing career with her education, Sae Ron finished middle school and signed with YG Entertainment, continuing to build her portfolio with prestigious roles. Her manager once said that she had a great eye for good scripts, which made it possible for her to choose her own projects at a very young age. While every actor enjoys a challenge, all this freedom likely put a lot of pressure on her during some of the most formative stages of her life. She had gone from an impressive debut at Cannes to starring in what would become the most successful films and dramas in South Korea, all before she even reached her teenage years, and this had terrible consequences for the years to come. Constantly being in the spotlight eventually caught up with her as she dealt with her first scandal at just 13 years old. It all started when an anonymous netizen shared pictures of her hanging out with friends on an online forum. One photo showed her casually sitting on a sofa with bottles of wine and wine glasses spread across the table in front of them. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only cause for concern. Another image surfaced from a karaoke room where a pack of cigarettes was clearly visible on the table. Seeing a young preteen around alcohol and cigarettes caused a big controversy, especially in South Korea, where this kind of behavior is seriously frowned upon. Naturally, the public was quick to criticize her, questioning how she could find herself in a situation like that, especially at this age. Many also assumed that Sae Ron had been amongst the people who were drinking and smoking, but she quickly turned down these rumors. Taking to her SNS account, she posted a lengthy message denying the allegations and expressing her frustration over the accusations. She wrote, "If I have been good, those who believe me will believe me. Those who don't know me and are jealous of me will not want to hear anything that is good or the truth." Once the photos began circulating online, netizens didn't just label her a reckless smoker and drinker, they went further, even spreading rumors that she was was an outcast at school. For a 13-year-old, these kinds of hurtful comments can cut deep. So it's no surprise that Sae Ron eventually hit back at the public. She wrote, "Spreading false rumors is a crime. I want to receive an apology from those who tied together all those photos to make it seem like I did something bad. I have never even thought of doing something that someone my age shouldn't do." She expressed her sadness over the situation and said it helped her understand why directors cast her in painful roles. So Sae Ron did something that celebrities in Korea rarely do. Rather than apologizing, she actually demanded an apology from the press for spreading false rumors. Her teen years were chaotic, to say the least, because her next scandal happened only 4 years later. Around 2018, one of Sae Ron's most popular fan pages on Twitter abruptly shut down, leaving fans extremely confused. It all happened without any explanation, which naturally stirred curiosity and concern. While it's not uncommon for fan pages to close, the suddenness of this one raised quite a few eyebrows. When the page's founders announced the closure, their farewell message was pretty cryptic, saying, "I hope in 2018 you are the Kim Sae Ron loved by even more people." The original posters also suggested that Sae Ron should take fan gifts more seriously, which only added fuel to the fire. Although no direct accusations were made, fans couldn't help but wonder if something had happened behind the scenes. Rumors began circulating that Sae Ron might have thrown away or even regifted a fan's present, which deeply upset many of her supporters. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the mere possibility was enough to cause disappointment and unease among her fan base, further ruining her already damaged image. Netizens believed that she was just another spoiled, entitled child actress and started treating her that way. By now, it's clear that Sae Ron didn't maintain a squeaky clean image during her teenage years. Some netizens blamed her so-called reckless behavior on poor parenting, pointing fingers at her mother for her alleged lack of discipline. Sae Ron often shared photos with a mysterious woman on social media, who fans later identified as her mother. To their surprise, they discovered she was quite young, born in 1980, and giving birth to Sae Ron at just 21 years old. This revelation only fueled the debate over her upbringing and who might be responsible for her controversies. Although Sae Ron shared that her mother took great care of her and did everything for her daughter, netizens remained skeptical. Many argued that having a child so young could negatively impact the kid's development. After learning that her mother had once worked as a magazine model, some also went on to question whether she was equipped to properly guide her daughter through the challenges of fame. Perhaps her mother wanted to relive what it was like to be in the spotlight, so she might have been pushing Sae Ron into something that she wasn't prepared to handle mentally. While it's easy to blame bad parenting, we can't overlook the heavy burden of growing up in the spotlight. For someone like Sae Ron, who became famous at such a young age, the pressures and struggles she faced were immense. By the age of 21, her career had already faced a few bumps, but none of the controversies were damaging enough to derail her completely. She'd turned a few heads when she abruptly dropped out of a drama and stirred public outrage when accidentally used a foul word on national television, but it was the 2022 incident when she was caught driving under the influence that truly sent her into a downward spiral. On the night of May 18th, chaos erupted in Gangnam when police began receiving several reports of a car dangerously swerving through the streets. That turned out to be Sae Ron. Eyewitnesses claimed she had already collided with several objects on her ride, but things took a shocking turn when her car slammed into an electricity generator, causing power loss in the entire area. As if the situation couldn't get worse, Sae Ron reportedly tried to flee the scene, hoping to avoid the authorities. Unfortunately for her, the police quickly caught up with her and then found out that her blood alcohol level was a shocking 0.2%, well over the limit to have her license revoked on the spot. The impact of her reckless actions didn't stop at the crash. The power outage affected around 50 nearby places, leaving businesses unable to process payments and traffic lights malfunctioning. Shortly after the incident, Sae Ron posted a handwritten apology on Instagram, expressing regret for her reckless actions and promising to compensate for the damages. She also apologized to her fellow actors and staff for disrupting ongoing projects. As a result of the scandal, she was dropped from the drama trolley and stepped down from Netflix's Bloodhounds. To make matters worse, KBS banned her from their broadcasts, practically ending her career indefinitely. The price Sae Ron paid to be famous was very costly, and although the benefits were sweet at first, now she's left with absolutely nothing. She went from being a beloved child actress to being blacklisted on major television networks, almost making it impossible for her to return to the industry. Sae Ron had to face court for the damage she caused and was fined around $15,000 for driving under the influence. She revealed she she was struggling financially, as she had been the main breadwinner for her family. Rumors circulated that she took on part-time jobs to support herself, sparked by photos of her at a coffee shop and later reports of her working at a bar. While some accused her of lying, it became clear that with her acting career in jeopardy, she had to find other ways to make ends meet. In April of this year, she tried to return to the industry, but without much success, as her worsening mental health condition made her unfit for the job. Right now, it's reported that she's working at a cafe to make a living, a tragic fall for someone who once had so much potential. These challenges of fame, deeply rooted in her early years, followed her like shadows, eventually consuming her adulthood and tragically ruining the career she had worked so hard to build. It's heartbreaking to see how the very thing that brought her fame also became the source of her destruction. While Kim Sae Ron's story shows the struggles of growing up too fast in the Korean spotlight, Japan had its own tragic example. Yagira Yuya was praised as a prodigy until success became too much for him to handle.
The record-breaking actor Yagira Yuya is all too familiar with suffering due to becoming successful too young. In today's video, we're taking a look at how acting ruined his life for a while and what were the consequences of being in the spotlight as a young child. As mentioned earlier, Yagira Yuya started his career at a very young age. The now 32-year-old Yuya was born on March 26, 1990 in Tokyo. Although he gained so much recognition for his incredible acting performances, his teenage dreams were completely different. When he was younger, Yuya seemed to really enjoy sports. In fact, he used to dream of becoming a professional soccer player, and an actor was just another choice if that didn't work out. He chose the latter as he debuted in the film industry at the mere age of 12 while still attending a middle school in Tokyo. After joining his agency Stardust Promotion, his first audition was for the film Daremo Shiranai, which translates to Nobody Knows. The movie was directed by Koreeda Hirokazu. At the time, Yuya didn't think much of it. He said that he auditioned and suddenly got the role of the protagonist, which seemed a bit unexpected. Director Koreeda said that from the moment he saw Yuya's audition, he knew he was the one. The actor's first ever movie definitely didn't shed light on a lighthearted theme. It's often referred to as a tragic, haunting, and heart-wrenching portrayal of child abandonment. Based on a true story of the 1988 Sugamo child abandonment case, Nobody Knows tells the tale of 4 children abandoned by their mother. Yuya plays the role of Akira Fukushima, who also happens to be the oldest brother. Their mother, Keiko, left her children to be with her new lover. Akira is now in charge of taking care of his brother and 2 little sisters. On top of that, he has to manage their entire apartment and bring food to the table with the little he can gather at his young age. The film shows how Akira and his siblings, who by the way never got enrolled in school like their peers, struggle to survive and take care of their basic needs. They live a painful solitary existence in an apartment building in Tokyo. Yuya made a comment regarding the film saying, "If adults watch the movie, I want to tell them don't abandon kids. Don't treat them like a toy." The movie has gained a lot of attention from film critics throughout the years, with their reviews being similar to the thoughts of the lead actor himself. Despite the fact that it was a big challenge to play such an emotionally draining role at the age of 12, Yuya's performance was absolutely outstanding. The entire world seemed to love his portrayal of Akira. In fact, he even started to earn acclaim from the best critics out there. Yuya's natural acting in the film is what impressed people the most. In 2004, the moment of the star's huge breakthrough arrived as the 14-year-old got nominated for the Best Actor award at the Cannes Film Festival for his role of Akira. Even more amazing was that he actually won, making him the youngest winner in history of the festival and thus setting a new record. On top of that, Yagira Yuya was the first ever Japanese actor who won this prestigious award. His accomplishment made the actor a national treasure. He didn't only earn praise from the Japanese population, but people worldwide were stunned by his performance. In a tuxedo on the red carpet at Cannes, 14-year-old Yuya said, "I hope I can become the kind of actor who can face any situation with confidence." He might have won a Cannes Award, but Yuya was still a regular 14-year-old that went to school like most of his peers. When the Cannes Festival was held, the actor could only attend the first day. Unfortunately, Yuya missed the moment when they gave out the award he had won. At that time, it was exam season, so the star had to leave mid-festival to go back to Japan for exam training. Instead, director Koreeda received the award in his honor. Even other actors that were nominated for the same award agreed that Yuya's performance was the most deserving of it. Choi Min-sik, who was nominated for Best Actor for his role in Oldboy, said, "I acted with fancy techniques, but this friend's acting was literally the character himself. He made a deep impression on me." Quentin Tarantino, who was part of the judging panel, said, "I've seen so many movies at Cannes, but all I remember is Yagira Yuya's expression. That day at the Cannes Festival, Yagira Yuya wrote history. It was the day that would change his life forever." After earning the Best Actor award at Cannes, countless headlines were written about Yuya, calling him a child actor prodigy. According to the public, it was the birth of a new genius. After he won the award at Cannes, the young actor was receiving so many acting offers that he decided to make acting his full-time job. In Japan, the star saw his face on various magazine covers. For his great contribution to the arts and for uplifting the country's reputation, the Culture Ministry of Japan gave Yuya a commendation certificate. These certificates are only given out to those who achieve something memorable. After his role in Nobody Knows, the actor decided to accept a role in the movie Shining Boy and Little Randy. With his appearance in the movie, he delivered another incredible performance. He also starred in films such as The Bandage Club and Sugar and Spice. However, from here onwards, the road started to get a lot rockier for him. Because of the fact that the star won a Cannes Award, there was a lot of pressure on him to perform well. The public had a lot of expectations of him at the time, despite the fact that he was so young. Yuya revealed that he felt very frightened because he was afraid he could not live up to those expectations. He started having a hard time at school too. He became an international phenomenon overnight, earning lots of praise from people all over the world. However, it was a lonely time for him. He became more and more rebellious, eventually dropping out of school altogether. While working in the entertainment industry, he was surrounded by adults all the time. He could only really be a proper kid at school, but eventually he lost that too. Even though he was sought out by the entire world, he became very shy and was not good at expressing himself because of feeling so much pressure. This, of course, had a negative impact on his public and private life as well because he had a hard time speaking in front of cameras. Later in his life, he even went to KTV to practice speaking so that he would be more loud and clear instead of being so quiet. On August 29th, 2008, Yagira was hospitalized. He was just 18 years old. Early hospital reports reveal that Yuya was hospitalized because of an attempt to take his own life. It seemed that the star took about 100 tranquilizers, which is definitely more than he was prescribed by his doctor. Initially, his condition seemed very serious, but his life was not in danger. He was discharged from the hospital the same day. In an interview with Japan Zone on September 1st, 2008, Yuya commented on his hospitalization, saying, "The incident followed an argument with my family. In a fit of anger, I took a larger than usual dosage of my prescription tranquilizers. As a result, I fell ill and asked for an ambulance to be called." By saying this, the actor denied that he was trying to end his life. He describes the hospitalization as an accident. The newfound attention took a toll on Yuya, as this was only the beginning of his deep fall into depression. Due to stress and his worsening mental health, he started eating around 8 meals a day, which caused him to rapidly gain weight. Reportedly, he gained about 30 kilograms. His sudden increase in weight prevented him from landing more roles. Thousands of people were commenting on his weight, making him feel insecure and defeated. The skeptical feelings Yagira had towards the entertainment industry ever since he was young only started increasing. When he stopped appearing in movies, he took on regular jobs instead. For instance, he worked part-time at a car washing company for 1,000 yen an hour. He worked so hard that the owner of the company said it seemed like he was trying to get back the youth that he lost. He then started working at a restaurant where he often got recognized and ridiculed by customers. These years were some of the hardest years in his career. Things started looking brighter again for Yuya after he got married to his high school sweetheart on January 15th, 2010. Prior to their marriage, the pair had been dating for 4 years. At the time of the marriage, the actor was only 20 years old. The public was worried that getting married so young would only make his situation worse. This couldn't be farther from the truth. After getting married, Yuya found peace and stability and started picking up work again. He controlled his diet and exercised and managed to lose weight in a short amount of time. He starred in various dramas and movies and became a hot topic again for his very successful comeback. Right now, it's an understatement to say Yagira is doing well. He picked himself up and is experiencing the benefits of it in his second wave of success. Director Koreeda left a comment for Yuya saying, "After receiving such a big award at a young age, seeing how hard he was having it, I didn't want to meet him because I felt like I was greatly responsible for this." Koreeda looks forward to working with the star again in the hopes of making something equally as good as the film Nobody Knows.
Fame can twist childhood in many painful ways, but what happens when a child is forced into roles that erase their own identity? This next case is one of Korean TV's most disturbing examples. The Korean entertainment industry has had a few incredibly successful child actors who started acting at a young age and successfully climbed their way to the top and became big Hallyu stars. This chance at wealth and fame drives tons of parents in South Korea to force their kids into stardom at an early age, signing them up for the first job they stumble across. Woo Jin is one of those well-known child actors who rose to fame in a very disturbing and unusual way. Woo Jin was born in 2015, meaning he's only 8 years old right now. Despite his young age, his career has been quite long, as he's starred in about 24 projects already. He made his debut in the 2017 drama Confession Couple, but didn't start gaining attention until he appeared in Hi Bye Mama. In this drama, he played the daughter of lead actress Kim Tae-hee. Yes, you heard that correctly. He played a girl instead of a boy, which confused and shocked many people once they found out about this. The drama premiered in February of 2020 and tells the story of a woman who passed away in a tragic car accident. Miraculously, she's able to return to her husband and daughter as a ghost. Viewers were very invested in the dynamic of the family and thought the little girl in the series was absolutely adorable. She'd wear cute dresses and pigtails, making everyone's hearts swell with adoration. Soon enough, fans started looking up the cast, and they were completely flabbergasted when they found out that Tae-hee's daughter was actually played by a little boy. As you can imagine, all hell broke loose. It's an understatement to say netizens were shocked, but not only that, they were also concerned for Woo Jin's well-being. He was only 5 years old when the drama aired, so they believed that making him gender swap at such a young age could have been detrimental to his development. It could have been a very confusing experience for him, and he might have not even been aware of what was going on at all. Criticism started flooding in from all sides, and viewers couldn't help but feel confused with the casting decision. Since many people were wondering why the production team decided to cast a little boy for the role of a girl, they were forced to put out a statement explaining their choice. A source close to the production team told Spa TV News that they casted Woo Jin due to his striking resemblance to Tae-hee. They were looking for someone who could pass as her relative, and well, he was the perfect match. Not to mention he has huge eyes, which made him look very cute on screen. They further stated that Woo Jin's acting skills were incredibly stable, which was just another incentive for them to cast him despite the role being made for a female. However, the story gets a bit confusing because there's also news outlets that reported that a source close to the production team told them that some of the crew members weren't even aware that he was a boy and were equally surprised to find out. That should be taken with a grain of salt though, since it sounds a bit fishy that the production team didn't know who they were casting for their very own drama. But this didn't help the situation in the slightest, and the scandal got worse. The production team's explanation of the casting choice wasn't enough to satisfy concerned viewers. They still believed it was a strange move to make, and were worried about the gender identity issues that Woo Jin could experience after playing such a role. The situation got so out of hand, to the point his mother decided to issue a response of her own. She addressed the issue in a lengthy post on her Instagram, and reassured worried fans that nothing harmful was going on. Elaborating on the role choice, she said, "Our Woo Jin is a smart boy who is well aware of what he's doing right now and why he's playing the role of the girl." Strangely enough, his mother also tried to convince the audience of her son's masculinity. She shared that he's very confident in his gender identity, which is great, but it's also important to keep in mind he was a 5-year-old at the time, and he was forced to play a female role. His mother dished a bit on what the casting process was like, and she explained that Woo Jin didn't even have to audition. It looks like her aim was to land her son a larger role, so when Woo Jin got the offer to play a little girl that would be the center of the drama, it seemed like the perfect opportunity. But it's questionable whether it was a great opportunity for Woo Jin or his mother. She explained that the first thing she did was ask him what his thoughts were. She wrote, "He willingly said that he was okay and that he could do it well. Consent is important for anything, but when it's a 5-year-old doing the nodding, that really doesn't mean much since they're too little to know what they're even agreeing to." This is also why the public was criticizing his mother so much, assuming that she probably made the decision for him. In the post, she addressed the backlash and negativity, stating that this choice didn't cause her son any harm. As a clapback to all her criticizers, she wrote, "Anyone who knows this child would understand and say that those who criticize us for gender identity issues are meddling for no good reason." She then shared that Woo Jin is actually really boyish, and that he likes to hear that he's handsome and manly rather than that he's cute or pretty. If that's the case, then why make him play the role of an adorable little girl who all viewers viewers called incredibly cute. His mother tried to combat the criticism by proving her son's quote-unquote masculinity, which was definitely a questionable way to go about this. However, to assure the public that she 100% knew what she was doing, she reminded everyone of the fact that both she and her husband have a degree in psychology. She argued that given their expertise, they know how to handle the situation and protect their son. But people still weren't convinced that it was a normal decision to have a little boy play a little girl on TV. In return, Woo Jun's mother urged viewers not to judge or spread false information about her son based on rumors. She stated that no one knows her son better than she does and that she loves him and always puts him first. Shaming the public for the outrage they caused, she wrote, "This is just a matter of difference in opinion. The fact that people are strongly criticizing us just because our boy is playing a girl in just one drama suggests that we need to rethink the way we act." Although fans were still a little unsure about this situation, their worries were calmed a bit when Tae-hee herself spoke about Woo Jun's strong sense of self. She shared that he's the first thing that comes to mind when thinking of a good actor. Tae-hee explained that out of all the actors on set, Woo Jun is the most calm and serious one. Elaborating on his character, she said, "In normal life, he's so playful and very boyish, but as soon as the director says, 'Ready?' he's a true actor who becomes so Woo again." After both statements were released, the public opinion started to shift a bit. Considering that Tae-hee is a very influential figure in the entertainment industry, people hold her in high regard. Since she only had positive things to say about Woo Jun, the public chose to believe that he knows what his job is all about and that he has a strong identity of his own. Although he no longer plays female roles, he doesn't shy away from trying on feminine clothing or hairstyles. Sometimes his styling team dresses him up as a girl for fun. There's one picture of him behind the scenes wearing long hair and a flower-shaped hair clip. He's posing for the picture with a flower, and he might have thought it was a fun thing to do. He and his parents are no longer receiving as much negativity, but the controversy is definitely something that'll never be forgotten. Nowadays, Woo Jun is no longer cast as the opposite gender, but he seems to be doing well nonetheless. He's still bagging acting jobs left and right, and does quite a bit of modeling for children's clothing brands. When he's not on set or doing a photo shoot, he can be spotted at award shows receiving many compliments for his amazing acting skills. He's won not one, but 2 awards for his impressive performance in Young Lady and Gentleman. Getting famous at such a young age has its perks because Woo Jun is also casually seen hanging out with various celebrities, but people remain worried about what impact so much work at such a young age will eventually have on his mental health and development. It's not so crazy that people were so worried about Woo Jun's well-being, since nowadays children are literally competing against each other to enter the show business in South Korea. Many parents take their children to training centers that prepare kids for the industry because they believe they'll find more opportunities for their kids that way. A lot of parents argue that there are more chances for actors who start out as kids because they usually have lengthier careers and a better public image. Not to mention that they'll make a lot of money very quickly. This is why lots of parents are eager to jump at any opportunity that arises, sometimes even at the detriment of their children. It's not unusual for the industry to exploit these kids, which is why it's important to be critical and extra careful. Even the most famous child stars weren't immune. Kim Yoo Jung grew up in front of millions, but behind her bright image was a reality far more painful than anyone imagined. Kim Yoo Jung is one of the most famous celebrities in the Korean entertainment industry, but her journey to superstardom was marked by numerous hurdles that severely impacted her life and her mental health. Eo Jun was born in Seoul in 1999, and she had no time to enjoy her childhood since she made her acting debut at the tender age of 4, appearing as a child model in an advertisement campaign in 2003. She quickly became one of the most in-demand child models in Korea, and she started to appear in all kinds of commercials. With her success as a model, her drama debut came soon afterwards, appearing in the 2004 show Freezing Point. Over the course of the following few years, Yoo Jung starred in numerous projects, and by the time she was in the 5th grade, she had already appeared in 13 TV dramas and 15 movies. Her rising popularity led her to win her first award at the age of 9, winning the prize for Best Young Actress at the 2008 SBS Drama Awards. However, taking on all these acting projects at such a young age deeply affected Yoo Jung's mental health, and she struggled a lot while growing up. First of all, the fact that she started her career at 4 years old obviously means that becoming an actress wasn't her choice, as she wasn't old enough to decide on her own. Instead, it was Yoo Jung's mother who posted her pictures online, which led her to get chosen to star in her first commercial. Then, as she took on more and more projects, she basically had to grow up on the set. and she even revealed that she learned the Korean alphabet by reading the scripts for her acting roles. Also, some roles that she had to portray proved to be a bit too hard for a child. For example, when she appeared in the 2005 movie Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, she played the role of a girl who was kidnapped, and in one scene she was supposed to say, "Mom, I want to go home." However, she was completely terrified by the character played by her co-star Choi Min-sik, and she couldn't stop crying. Another worrying aspect about Yoo Jung's childhood is that she thought for years that her life was completely normal, and she only realized that she was an actress as she started to grow up. Since she didn't understand that her career had already begun, the young Yoo Jung had a lot of dreams for her future, and she thought about doing different kinds of jobs. Instead, when Yoo Jung started to realize what she was doing, she had to accept that she was an actress without even knowing how she became one. So her dreams had to change. And instead of trying different jobs, she started to try different characters. She also revealed that she doesn't remember much about her childhood, and she was often tired and struggling, but she gained strength as she grew older, and she developed a true passion for acting. However, Yoo Jung explained that she was still very worried and nervous about growing up under the public eye, and she added, "I missed out on happiness because I am in a situation where many people see and evaluate me." Her education was also severely impacted by her career, and Yoo Jung never experienced a normal school life. In fact, she revealed that she was so busy acting that she never had time to complete her exams. She even added that instead of worrying about her grades as any other student, her main concern growing up was keeping her weight under control and appearing pretty on screen. Nevertheless, Yoo Jung's career continued and her popularity skyrocketed in 2012 when she appeared in the historical drama Moon Embracing the Sun. This drama was a massive success, and Yoo Jung gained a ton of praise for her performance, winning several awards, including the prize for Best Young Actress at the 2012 MBC Drama Awards. However, this role also led Yoo Jung to live some really uncomfortable moments caused by her interactions with her co-star Kim Soo Hyun. As the two worked together on this drama, reporters asked Soo Hyun what he thought of Yoo Jung's performance, and he answered by saying, "I guess I previously thought of her as too much of a baby. After seeing her in real life, I thought she was really confident and smart, and I didn't feel like she was young. I can't wait to see her mature, and I think I'll be able to soon meet her as partners in a drama." While this statement went almost unnoticed back then, it resurfaced after the controversy surrounding Soo Hyun's relationship with the late Kim Sae Ron exploded. In 2012, Soo Hyun was 24, while Yoo Jung was 13. So many found these comments to be unsettling and creepy, wondering how an adult could be looking forward to a future on-screen relationship with an actress who was still a child. Unfortunately, this isn't the only disturbing moment involving Soo Hyun that Yoo Jung had to endure. Several clips have now been found showing the interactions between them while they were filming Moon Embracing the Sun, and in some cases, Soo Hyun can be seen hugging Yoo Jung and even putting his finger on her lips. Netizens have also found an old interview of Yoo Jung in which she states that she was in contact with Soo Hyun before, but she stopped contacting him. It's easy to think that Yoo Jung was weirded out by Soo Hyun's behavior and decided to avoid any contact with him. This wasn't even the only case in which Yoo Jung was seen as more mature than her age. In 2016, she was the female lead of the drama Love in the Moonlight, and this was described as her first adult role, even though she was only 16 when she filmed this series. Meanwhile, Yoo Jung had to face several other problems, including rumors about her behavior. These malicious comments began when she was just a child, as people falsely accused her of selling her autographs for money, which she never did. Some netizens also spread the rumors that she was in a school gang and was harassing other students, and this rumor was apparently sparked by Yoo Jung's way of looking at people. This was obviously a ridiculous rumor with no basis in reality, but it still affected Yoo Jung, and at 13 years old, she had to explain that she just had a habit of looking at people from the side of her eyes. Instead, in 2016, she was harshly criticized for her alleged bad attitude while promoting the movie Because I Love You. During the movie premiere on December 20th, people noticed that she was leaning on one leg instead of standing up straight, and she looked distracted and sometimes picked her nails. While this might seem like nothing controversial, some netizens found this behavior to be rude, and this issue turned into a major scandal. Some people stated that Yoo Jung was disrespectful and she should have been more courteous, while others noticed that no one around her seemed bothered by her behavior and there was nothing problematic in her attitude. In any case, after receiving a lot of malicious comments, Yoo Jung had to release a statement apologizing for her actions despite the fact that she did nothing wrong. What most of the people who criticized Yoo Jung didn't know is that she was struggling with her health at the time, and she had already canceled her appearance in various other events. The criticism only made things worse. And on December 21st, one day after the movie premiere, Yoo Jung had to be rushed to the emergency room due to severe fatigue. Despite this, she made a few more appearances at public events and greeted reporters with a deep 90-degree bow to show her respect. However, she was still struggling a lot, and her condition only got worse as people kept accusing her of being rude. On December 26th, she was once again rushed to the hospital following a stress-induced shock, and she started to receive treatment for her condition. Following this unexpected turn of events, other celebrities who previously worked with Yoo Jung came out to defend her. Actor Bang Jong-hyun, who starred alongside Yoo Jung in Love in the Moonlight, was especially vocal. First, he explained that Yoo Jung was often leaning on one leg because she wasn't comfortable with the other one, but there was no reason to reveal her health problems to the public. Then, he added that she was the most respectful and honest young actress he ever worked with. And finally, he attacked netizens, saying that Yoo Jung doesn't need to ask for forgiveness, and adding, "It makes me mad that there is a minority trying to ruin her image because of a single photo." Luckily, Yoo Jung was able to recover and return to her activities, and the criticism against her faded away as people started to understand that there was nothing wrong with her behavior. However, in 2018, Yoo Jung had to take another break from her activities as doctors found out that her constant exhaustion and lack of physical strength were caused by hypothyroidism. After some months off, she made a full recovery and continued her career. While she had to endure a lot of struggles while growing up, things could have gotten even worse for Yoo Jung, as she once revealed that when she was in elementary school, she was almost kidnapped. She explained that one day, a weird man came to her school claiming to be her father, but the teachers felt like something was off. They asked Yoo Jung if she knew that man, and when she said no, they called the police. Just thinking of what this man could have done to the young Yoo Jung is extremely disturbing, so it's hard to understand how deeply this experience has affected her. In the end, Yoo Jung has overcome an incredible amount of obstacles as she lived her entire life under the spotlight and had to deal with all the worst aspects of being a celebrity since she was a small child. She endured a tough childhood, mental and physical health issues, a ton of malicious comments, countless haters, stalkers, creeps, and much more. But now she's a successful superstar beloved by millions of fans all over the world, which makes her rise to fame even more impressive. But not all harm happens on scripted dramas. Sometimes it takes place on so-called reality shows. Song Eo Jun's appearance on My Golden Kids shocked viewers for a reason few expected. In a viral clip that has reached over 40 million views from the South Korean variety show My Golden Kids, netizens' hearts broke over the tragic words spoken by 4-year-old Song Eo Jun. He wished that his mother would play with him more and said that his father was scary when he was angry. Viewers expressed their disgust towards the parents and commended Eo Jun for being so strong and mature at such a young age. The episode ended on a positive note, where Eo Jun's mother listened to what her son wanted and apologized for not paying attention to him. She then promised that she would make more time to play with Eo Jun in future. Things seemed to have improved as she spent more time with him to play games and began to listen to him more. However, his father, who was not very present throughout the episode due to his commitments to his job, still made no apology to Eo Jun and seemed very distant throughout, so people continue to have doubts whether or not Eo Jun's home life has improved since his time on the show. As My Golden Kids is a television show, its success depends on its viewership, and in order to secure viewers, it has to be entertaining and emotional. A happy ending is essential to ensure that its child experts are portrayed in a good light and to prove that their advice is reliable. Therefore, it's hard to trust the fact that Eo Jun's mother suddenly seemed very keen to play with her son after neglecting him for a long time, and it's possible that everything was done just for the sake of a happy ending, and in reality, without the cameras, Eo Jun's life may not have improved at all, especially with the overwhelming negative response the parents have received from the media, meaning they may be struggling to cope with all the hate, resulting in Eo Jun potentially being neglected even more. One netizen commented, "They need to follow up on this family because I doubt the mom truly changed when the cameras turned off. I think she just acted different at the end. You don't fix these problems and the neglect overnight." But with how this episode went viral, the controversies about the therapist on the show came to light, and people now question the whole thing even more as it raises a question. Can we really trust My Golden Kids? My Golden Kids is a show which features parents who are struggling to understand and raise their children who normally have some some behavioral issues. Experts in parenting and psychology suggest solutions and parenting tips based on the situation in hopes to improve the parent's approach and benefit the child's life. One of these experts is child psychiatrist Dr. Eo Jung. She's become a household name and popular Korean TV personality for her advice on parenting and mental health. However, many believe that she's implanting the wrong ideas in parents' minds and don't agree with her techniques. Her ability was thrown into question after the tragic loss of a first-grade teacher who took her own life after being burdened with school violence complaints from parents. Eo Jung is against parents hitting their children as a punishment, and many claim that her non-punitive discipline was a cause of the decline in educational authority. One netizen wrote, "She certainly is not responsible for these parents that terrorize their children's teachers. However, she's a TV psychiatrist in the same lump as those awful creatures one sees on American television." Dr. Eo Jung did respond to these accusations. She expressed her sadness over the news of the teacher's passing, stating that parents and teachers must work together for the well-being of children. Eo Jung understood why she was getting blamed for the incident, but explained that My Golden Kids was about recommending different approaches or giving guidance on how to raise children. It was not a form of therapy. She claimed, "I always advise parents to seek professional help if medication is necessary, or I advise them to continue meeting with specialists if they already are." Her opposition to physical punishment caused her to become quite a controversial figure amongst certain parenting communities, as in South Korea, physical punishment is still a common parenting practice. Many have accused Eo Jung of teaching parents wrong ideas by stressing the importance of nonviolent discipline, resulting in her being blamed for the decline in parent authority and therefore the tragic loss of the first grade teacher. She said, "I'm not saying not to discipline them, I'm just saying not to hit them. I have always stressed the importance of discipline throughout my career. It worried me seeing the reactions that they feel a need to hit kids again and give teachers rods for hitting students. That's not what teachers want now." During the My Golden Kids episode, Eo Jun's mother restored to physical punishment herself when she felt she couldn't control her son. The hosts, including Eo Jung, disapproved of her discipline style. When expressing her opinion on physical punishment, she said, "I firmly believe that we should not return to a time when problems were resolved through violence. Everyone who appeared on My Golden Kid comes out with sincerity about parenting. They continue to work hard even after the show." To many international netizens, they would agree that physical punishment is way too extreme. However, in the very traditional South Korean culture, her new views are considered dangerous by a majority of the Korean public. Many worry that she is being put on a pedestal and people are following her blindly without considering any other cause of action despite their situation potentially being different from the one Eo Jung is addressing on television. Despite the amount of hate she's received online, it seems that many are defending Eo Jung based on the fact that her advice shouldn't be used as a basis for all parenting problems, and when things get difficult, parents should seek more personalized expert support. One netizen wrote, "She speaks to issues about interaction between a parent and a child. Dr. O does not extend her treatment beyond that. She does not intervene with how a teacher should treat a child because she understands that an interaction between an educator and a student is different. My Golden Child, as a show itself, is also not free of controversy. Some viewers have questioned the idea of putting families and young children on national television for everyone to see their personal struggles and arguments. My Golden Kids does not identify the children specifically. However, their names and faces are not hidden within the content shown. The show uploads its episodes to YouTube, leaving the family vulnerable to horrible comments and overwhelming scrutiny. This is not going to help them overcome their difficulties, and if anything, being on the show just makes it worse for them as it opens up for negative judgment from everyone. As a result, the children will be subject to unstable households and may suffer mistreatment at school, which could follow them into their teenage years. There's also some evidence that My Golden Kids is effective for some families. A mother who appeared on the show stated that her son's anxiety improved a lot, and because the episode was seen by neighbors and friends, she and her family received lots of support. She explained, "The episode helped me understand how much pain my son had borne. Although the show is helpful for some, whether that help outweighs the negative impact it can have on other families' lives is still up for debate. Is it really worth it?" Eo Jung says, "Viewers should consider the problems televised as all part of the human experience. The main reason I do these shows is that understanding children is the starting point of understanding people." However, she does not address the issues faced by the families moving forward after the show, and there is no clear attempt made by Eo Jung or the producers to safeguard them. To add to the controversy, Eo Jung faced major backlash for the show Eo Jung's Report, Marriage Hell, which received over 3,600 viewer complaints according to data from from the Korea Communications Standard Commission after she defended a stepfather who made inappropriate physical contact with his 7-year-old stepdaughter. Viewers were disgusted by his actions and disappointed that Eo Jun chose to see the stepfather's side, rather than show any concern for the young girl who was visibly uncomfortable. Her care for children's safety and expert psychology knowledge was questioned by viewers. How could parents trust someone that would allow this to happen? Eo Jun has since tried to return to the small screen with her Squid Game-inspired reality show, Dr. O's Game, in which the aim is to teach parents how to play with their children in a way that builds character and aids in the development of the children. However, there are many doubts of her hosting ability and credentials after the marriage hell controversy. The new show is an apparent attempt to amend Eo Jun's past mistakes and put her back into the good graces of viewers, according to channel ENA. She said, "I hope that parents and children alike will learn the best ways in which they can play together from our show. Dr. O's Game will teach viewers the right way to play with and how to aid in the development of our beloved children." Considering this statement, it's likely that Yoon Young's new show will soon garner negative attention for the same reasons as her previous works, in which she may be accused of spreading ineffective and dangerous advice that many parents will follow without consideration. But as long as people keep watching, Yoon Young will continue her role as a prominent TV personality with lots of influence over the Korean public, and by redefining her purpose as a television psychiatrist with a new program, she can hope that her image amongst the South Korean public will improve. However, having such a controversial expert as a host on My Golden Kids leaves netizens with little hope that Song Oh-jun's home life will get better, especially considering the implications the show may have on the family's personal life since airing. It's hard to determine if the program is really that successful in supporting struggling families, or if it's all for show. After hearing so many tragic stories, it's easy to forget that not every young star suffers the same fate. Some have found stability and success, and these are the highest paid child actors in Korea today.
Though child actors are not known for being paid a lot in the South Korean entertainment industry, there are a few that have managed to cash heavy checks since they were children. Yoo Sung-ho. Starting off this list with Sung-ho because, well, you'll see why. They dedicated a segment to him on IHQ's Secret Newsroom as he was appearing on KBS 2 TV's drama Moonshine at the time. During the episode, actress Kim Hyung-ja shared that they lived in the same apartment building and expressed how proud she was to see him grow up so well. This got proven after he appeared on The Way Home, which was the very first movie of his career, and he nailed it. The movie was a hit too, as it sold 4.1 million tickets. Despite the success, Sung-ho didn't let the fame get to his head and remained humble and sweet as he always was, even after becoming known as the nation's little brother. But along with his true personality, his appearance fee was also revealed to the public, and believe me when I say those numbers are crazy. On top of receiving tons of casting calls, he also received the highest appearance fee compared to other child actors. It's estimated that his movie appearance in the early and mid-2000s was at least $21,800. And that was when he was a child. If you don't think that that's high, other child actors had appearance fees that ranged from $7,200 to $36,000 in 2013, so considering the amount that Sung-ho got paid so early in his career is just insane. He's also the reason that child actors are treated so well in the industry, because every time he started a project, he had a condition for the crew and asked him to respect child actors as they were considered a waste. Being respectful, kind, and also fighting for better treatment of his colleagues, all while being paid millions to do it. Who's doing it like him? Eo Jun. Before the public knew him as the extremely attractive hotel manager in Hotel de Luna, Eo Jun was actually known by the public as an adorable child actor that stole hearts everywhere. His acting career started when he was only 8 years old after he got a role in the film Sad Movie. If you want an idea of just how talented he was even as a kid, he was chosen among 150 candidates for the role of Park Hee-chan despite not having any previous acting experience. Just like Sol-hyun, he got attention when he starred in Moon Embracing the Sun, where he played the role of a young crown prince. Since he appeared in so many dramas and movies, it was assumed that he must be getting paid a lot, and these assumptions turned out to be true. Turns out that Jin-woo used to receive a whopping $9,400 to $47,000 per movie. His popularity only only grew after Hotel de Luna, so he probably must be making bank by now. Nam Darum. Nam Darum has been in every drama you can think of, literally every single one of them. He started his acting career in the drama Boys Over Flowers, playing the younger version of Yoon Ji-hoo, and that's when his career took off. He played the younger version of male leads in dramas like While You Were Sleeping, Rain or Shine, Radio Romance, Startup, and Private Lives, which means he has spent most of his career acting alongside some of the biggest names in the industry. He has also shown versatility as an actor in plenty of movies like No Breathing, Kundo, Age of the Rampant, Chronicle of the Blood Merchant, and more. As for his income, having more than 10 years of experience under his belt makes it understandable that he charges a lot for the shows and movies he appears in and gets paid generously too. Rookie actors and actresses get paid only $1,000 or more per episode, but since Darum is more experienced, he received $20,000 to $40,000 per episode. Including all his young roles and cameos in shows, Nam Darum's filmography includes more than 40 dramas, most of them being hits with the viewers. He took part in 5 movies, with his latest one earning $17.79 million in box office profit. His previous movie, Chronicle of a Blood Merchant, was also a hit with the audiences, as it earned $6.6 million. My boy is making bank. He's also a favorite for music video shoots, so do the math on his earnings, though don't be surprised at the 6 digits that are gonna appear. He didn't spend 13 years in the industry for nothing. Kim Yoo Jung. Kim Yoo Jung is mostly known for her role in the drama Love in the Moonlight, but actually she has a long acting career before she was cast as Hong Da-eun. Her debut as an actress came at the very young age of 5 years old with a minor role in the drama Freezing Point. It was then when she became one of the most prominent child actresses in South Korea. Yes, it only took one role for her to blow up. She was just that talented. Yoo Jung gained more attention by K-drama enthusiasts and the public alike for having roles in critically acclaimed dramas like The Moon Embracing the Sun, May Queen, Golden Rainbow, and Angry Mom. Well, in 2013, it was revealed that it cost quite a lot for her to even appear in those dramas, but every cent was worth it because she gave her everything in every performance. According to a report, when she took her role in The Golden Rainbow, she was paid an estimated $5,650 per episode, which basically means that her total income came to $100,000 by the end of the show. Let's not get started on how much she got paid for her other shows. It's a shocking number considering that some adult actors get paid a lot less. Yoo Jung is still going strong as an actress even now, so good for her. Kim So Hyun. The beloved So Hyun started her career as an actress when she was only 7 years old, playing the supporting role in 10-Minute Minor. She then started getting booked in different dramas like A Happy Woman, Que Sera Sera, Hometown of Legends, Wife and Woman, and many more. She got recognition when she played the younger version of the second female lead in Moon Embracing the Sun, as she had the audiences falling in love with her. So Hyun was praised by the general public and the director of the show for her ability to portray the antagonist's desire so well, especially when you take into account that she was so young when the show started filming. By this point, she became known as Korea's little sister and was loved nationwide for her talent and charisma. She was even called the second Son Ye-jin because of her visuals and charm, which is a pretty good compliment if you ask me, especially since her career was only starting to take off. Considering all this, it's no wonder that she was so seeked out by casting directors and why she was paid so much for her roles in more popular dramas. So Hyun was revealed to receive about $3,800 to $5,650 per episode in the early dramas she appeared in. Obviously, her filmography got bigger, and the more popular she got paid a lot more, but that was a high amount even then. Shin Eun-kyung. Eun-kyung actually made her acting debut when she was only 9 in the TV series The Woman Who Wants to Marry in 2004, and it wasn't long before she was considered one of the best child actresses of her generation. She got nationwide attention when she appeared in the horror fairy tale Hansel and Gretel, and also starred in shows like Women of the Sun, The Great Merchant, The Legend, and Hwang Jini, with critics saying that there were times that she outshined her adult co-stars. She managed to snatch the lead role in the movie called Sunny when she was only 16 years old. The movie achieved blockbuster success as it appealed to a wide range of age groups. In the end, Sunny's box office total stood at more than 7 million admissions, and Eun-kyung was praised left and right for her performance. The director of the movie described her as someone who was already complete as an actress. That also explained why she was getting paid so much even as a child. It was revealed that Shin Eun-kyung received $1,500 per episode when she was at the start of her career. Even though that might not seem like a lot, she had already been in lots of shows and movies by that time, and child actors were not paid all that well. Every cent was deserved though, as Eun-kyung always puts her heart in every performance, and it showed. Nam Ji-hyun. Nam Ji-hyun is best known for her roles in East of Eden, Will It It Snow for Christmas, Angel Eyes, and To the Beautiful You, and it's no wonder she's so talented considering that she started acting when she was only 7 years old. She went from playing minor roles to being the lead in the 2016 NBC romantic comedy Shopaholic Lewis. Soon enough, she became loved by the public for her roles in The Great Queen Sondok, Suspicious Partner, 100 Days My Prince, 365 Repeat the Year, and most recently, Little Women. While it's not known how much she got paid when she was a child, we can assume it's a lot based on her current net worth. According to a report, Nam Ji-hyun has an estimated net worth of $1 to $5 million, an income that has been accumulating throughout her long career. At least we know that her hard work as a child was heavily compensated.
These stories show how fame can come at a cost, even for the youngest stars. Subscribe for more deep dives into the world of K-drama actors and let us know your thoughts in the comments.